Good morning, Greenhouse kids. I'm so happy you're here this morning. Today our class is about stillness. And stillness doesn't mean just freezing and not moving your body. It also means feeling your body and your mind and your heart be still. We all have stillness inside of ourselves, and we can find stillness wherever we are. It is important to be still sometimes because in stillness, I experience the peace of God. In stillness, I experience the peace of God. In stillness, I experience the peace of God. With practice, we can all learn to enjoy stillness. In our story today, Jesus calms a dangerous storm when he commands the waters, "Peace, be still."
The 12 disciples had been with Jesus all day as he taught to crowds of people. The crowds were growing as word spread about Jesus and the healings that happened wherever he went. As Jesus walked along the shore of the Sea of Galilee and then stopped to speak, the people followed along. Today there had been so many pressing close to Jesus that the disciples struggled to keep them back. There were countless numbers who wanted to be healed of their illness, comforted in their grief, or freed of their fears. It was difficult for the disciples to see their suffering, but they stood by Jesus and tried to protect him. It was Jesus who thought to step into the boat and speak from there. The shallow water kept people back, and he spent hours teaching with stories and wisdom new to their ears. As evening came, Jesus told the disciples it was time to leave. They gathered into the boat with him and sailed east, away from the sun that was low in the sky. Everyone was tired, and Jesus went to the back of the boat to lay down on some cushions. The experienced fishermen, James, John, Simon, and Andrew, handled the boat with skill, and the others settled in for a couple hours of peaceful sailing. Without warning, conditions on the water changed. Wind rushed down from the high cliffs on the eastern shore, and whitecaps appeared on water that had been calm just moments before. The boat rose and fell with the rising waves, and the strong wind made the sails flap violently. James and John struggled with the sails, while Simon and Andrew battled expertly to keep control of the boat and keep their precious cargo safe. They didn't want to disappoint Jesus or let anyone get hurt. The fishermen had all experienced these sudden storms before and knew of lives lost when the weather turned fierce. The others didn't know what to do. Water surged onto the boat, and they tried to hang on and help at the same time. Jesus had not yet stirred from his resting place, and they marveled that the tossing of the vessel had not awakened him. Fear caught hold of each of the disciples as conditions grew worse, and they all realized the black shoreline was far away. Darkness had replaced the warm colors of the setting sun. It had only been minutes since the storm hit, but it felt like hours to the panicked disciples. Some prayed, and some shouted for help as they futilely bailed water from the bottom of the boat. Others cursed the terrible wind. They all wanted Jesus to comfort them, but only a few were bold enough to make their way to the back of the boat and shout at their teacher, "Teacher, wake up! Wake up, Jesus!" Jesus immediately awoke and rose to look around. His eyes took in each of the disciples, the tossing boat, the turbulent waves, and the lashing wind. They all watched and waited for his response to the dire circumstances. Jesus appeared steady and unshaken, despite the rolling boat and splashing waves. He spoke with a strong, clear voice, untouched by fear. "Peace! Be still!" The disciples felt the words of their teacher as much as they heard them. The wind stopped and the sea calmed, as if in response to his command. The disciples felt their wildly beating hearts also become calm, and their fearful thoughts lifted as the clouds parted and the last light of day reflected in the still water. Jesus gazed at each of the disciples in turn. His eyes were full of love, but his words surprised them, considering how close they had been to disaster. "Why were you afraid? Where is your faith?" As they turned toward the eastern shore, they all felt the stillness of the wind and sea, and the violence of the storm seemed so distant. They wondered about what they had just seen.
I wonder if you would have been afraid of the storm, even if Jesus was in the boat with you. I wonder if you have ever felt stormy with excitement or with other kinds of emotions, and how did you calm down? Can you think of any other words that mean the same thing or are related to the word still? Here is what some of your friends had to say.
Another word for still is peaceful.
Can you say it loud?
Quiet. Another word for still is relaxed.
Another word for still is
Another word for still is tranquil.
Jesus spoke in a different language than we do, but he used words which translate to peace, be still. We can imagine that he was telling the wind to stop blowing and the waves to stop crashing, but do you think it's possible that he was also telling the disciples to be at peace and to be still? When we are still, we can feel God's constant presence within us and around us. Are you ready for a craft? Adam and Esme have something to share with us.
Hi, Greenhouse Kids. I'm Adam. I'm Esme. And we're going to make a ocean in a cup, and it looks like this. But I'm going to teach you how to do it so you can do it by yourself. Okay, so first you get a cup like this. And then you need one of these and put it right there so nothing spills. And then pour some water in. Whoa, that's a lot. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, good job, Adam. Yeah, that's all. Yep, that's all. Okay, and then you take this off. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Just leave it on there. And then you put water coloring in it, and I'll choose pink because Esme wants me to do pink. Oops, got some on my finger. Okay, that's fine. And then you pour it right in there. And you only need 1 drop. But if it doesn't really work, you can do 2 drops. Hi, Greenhouse Kids. Put some glittery things in this bottle.
What do you have in your bowls, Esme?
We have glitter and some Orbeez sequins and we put them in these bottles and then we put pretty things in like these things. Yeah, so let me show you how to do that.
And Esme, you can help too.
Okay. You can put some Orbeez in. And some beads. I'll get some of these. And sequins. And also some cool shells. That's cool. And stuff. Well, this is how the mess. Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then we can put some glitter in. Yeah, I'm gonna put the glitter in. Okay, I'll put the glitter in. I got mine. Be careful. Okay, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay. And next, we're going to put the oil. So Esme, you put this thing on there, and then I'll pour the oil. Okay. Whoa. And for extra, you can just pour a little more. Well, if you don't have enough. And there you go. You made one. And now you just need to put the lid on. And then put some glue on the lid and tape so no one tries to spill it or drink it. And then you can shake it around and then you made one. Bye.
Thank you, Adam and Esme. That looks so fun. These bottles are fun to play with, but they can also help you to calm down and remember to be still when you're having big feelings, like the big rocky waves in our story. Shake, 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 shake your bottle so that the waves are feeling as mad or as sad as you're feeling. And then stop. Remember Jesus' words in the story. Peace, be still. And take deep breaths. Until the ocean water in your bottle is calm and still again. Another way to experience stillness is through prayer and meditation. We will say this prayer together. Be still and know that I am God. Each time we repeat it, we'll take away one word at the end and think about how that changes the prayer each time. So repeat the lines of the following prayer out loud. You may choose to pause the video and say the prayer several times until you feel still and quiet.
Be still and know that I am God.
Be still and know that I am.
Be still and know. Be still. Be.
Great job. Now let's close by saying the prayer in reverse, adding one word until it's back to the full prayer of be still and know that I am God.
Be. Be still. Be still and know.
Be still and know that I am.
Be still and know that I am God.
You have to say it all together. All together, let's all tell them on three. Wake up, Jesus. Oh, what's going on, guys? Oh, storm. Be still, storm. Oh, wow. What happened to the storm? Guys, why did it go away? Why did it go away? Yeah, why did the storm stop?
Because